Good morning. How is everybody doing? We're live. Oh man, what a day. What a weekend we had. What a Ryder Cup. Where do we start? Rumors, craziness going on with the Ryder Cup. Europeans played spectacularly amazing. I love seeing that. I love seeing just the excitement and the passion that they have. And I think for sure they showed us that that they are a unified group. That's what I've been saying. They are a unity. Unfortunately, the Americans right now, we're just partners. There's a huge difference between a unified group and a partnership. And oh man, sad. It's sad. But you know what? The truth is good, because you can either change or stay the same. And that's just kind of how it is. That's who the American team is at the moment. But no worries. You know, I have faith in them. You could tell just when seeing Tiger and Patrick Reed out there, there was something missing there. And Tiger's one of the greatest. He is the greatest. So I don't know why they just didn't seem like they gelled. And then all the rumors flying around. But craziness. The American team seems too prima donna. It's just about them. And that's the thing. When I think Molinari summed it up when it was all over, he said this is better than a major. And that's how they take it. Where the Americans, for some reason, the majors are more important. And that's why we haven't been winning Ryder Cups like they have over the last decade plus. So anyways, it's just crazy. And then you hear rumors about Koepka and DJ here duking it out almost, or whatever's happening. Just crazy. I don't know. I hope the Americans can kind of get it together. Let me adjust this camera real quick. And but I don't know. I think fallout is good a little bit. I wouldn't share dirty laundry publicly. So I'm more about just, hey, if you have a problem with somebody, just talk to them and work it out, and you'll be fine. Hopefully, they can do that and get things together. But anyways, we're talking our game. What kind of questions you guys have here today? Hey, Seattle, how are you? Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. We'll get to that. And yeah, I know Tiger, my thing is, when you listen to Tiger, if you've paid attention to him over the years, usually after he wins a big event, he gets sick. And he's talked about that, where he puts so much energy and effort into it that his body just kind of shuts down afterward. So it's quite possible he wasn't feeling very well. I'm not sure. I have no inside information on that, but he just didn't look right. So I was wondering, like, if he was under the weather and had the flu or something was happening, because he just didn't seem like the dude that was that we know and love. Okay, let's work on a drill here. Somebody had a question about hitting down on the ball. Need a good drill. Great, I'll help you out here. How do we hit down on the ball? Now, this is just going to be with your irons, because with any wood, you're going to hit kind of slightly coming up on the ball. So we want to hit down on it without, we don't want to come down. So down is really just a culmination of your hand slightly ahead of the club head, and then that club coming down. So as you rotate around, we don't want that early release, right? Because that'll kind of get the club hitting up on the ball. So the question is, how do we hold that release and hit down on the ball? And there's a few good drills. One thing you might want to try if you're hitting off a mat and you have grass is sometimes I come right in front. Can you see that? Yeah, a little bit. So I have something behind that. And so I have to come down on that a little bit. Right? If I don't, I'm going to hit the mat. So that's one thing. Another thing is the same concept. You just get a tee, put that about two inches behind the ball. Okay? And then just, you're going to have to hover the club a little bit above the ball as you take it back. And then just start hitting down without hitting that tee. That's a good little drill for you. Because if you're releasing early, you're going to... But I don't want you to like consciously really try to hold that. I'm not a big believer in that. I like a little more rotation. And that'll get your release more in front of the ball. But if you have something behind your ball, it will definitely help you try not to hit that and try to hit the ball. And then just keep rotating around the best you can. And the better you get at it, just keep moving that tee a little forward. There, I'm like less than an inch behind the ball. I don't even know if I could do this. But we'll see. I just got that tee. I just nicked it. So that's pretty good. That should help you out quite a bit. So give that a try. Let me know. Let me know if something like that works. You can use an alignment stick, but those things they fly all over the place. So something like that works really well. Some people take their towel, same concept, they lay it behind the ball, and then they do the same thing. It's the exact same concept. Pakistan, how you doing? Let's see. Having trouble hitting down on the ball. Great. What's up? What's up with you? I rotate my right shoulder toward the target. Okay, here's a good question. Okay, I try to rotate my right shoulder toward the target at the finish, but my head and upper body moves toward the target as well. What can I do to fix that? Okay, so you're rotating your right shoulder toward the target and your head is going to. That's fine. I wouldn't worry about that. If your head is moving toward the target, there's a difference. If it's going forward, we don't want that, right? But if it's, so here's what I would do. As you rotate that right shoulder toward the target, the head moves around toward your left shoulder. So that right shoulder's coming down, your head is going not this way toward the target, but around. And I don't mind. See, you don't have to keep your head down. Like that could hurt. That hurts my neck. So what I like to do is let it rotate around back there, because that's going to create a lot more speed. You're going to have a lot more release in your swing. And as a matter of fact, I do this drill. You look at Annika and Stenson, even Poulter a little bit, they kind of turn their head and look up as they're hitting the ball. And I do a little drill where I'll do that on purpose. That's probably the best shot I've hit in a week, to be honest with you. And what you do is you rotate that, your hands release that direction. You know, your body follows your head. So don't worry about the head. I mean, if the head is kind of going this way, then you've got to just focus on turning it around to your left shoulder. Try it. Try actually hitting the ball by not lifting up, but rotating the head around so you're not even seeing the ball as you hit. And you'll probably find that I call it hitting it with your ear, because you just hear it better because your ear is like down here when you hit. And I hit really straight balls when I do that. If you're hitting it fat, that's something I like to work on. If I hitting fat too, that will help. Just turn your head. A lot of people keep that head down here, and then you release and you actually get stuck. And if that head is down here, you're going to release early many times, and you're going to be here. And some people do that and have good success, but I don't think the average player, I don't think we can get away with that consistently. keeping that head down, you're stopping your body from turning and getting the most out of it. So just think about, just rotate that head around like that. Just practice that and go. I mean, I'm hitting those exactly perfectly straight, so it's a good thing to do. And then what happens is you stop thinking about lifting the head, because you'll realize that that's not a problem. What's the problem is losing your spine angle. And we kind of get those two mixed up with each other. This is no good, but that's fine. You don't need to see the ball to hit it. So I think you'll be all right. You're a fan from Pakistan. How are you, man? I've never been to Pakistan. However, I love Middle Eastern food for some reason. My best friend growing up he's Arabic, so I was always at his house every day, or every few days, eating his mom's cooking. So even when I went to a restaurant, I ordered eggs. They're like, "You want scrambled or fried?" I said, "Well, I kind of like it fried, but then you got to scramble it at the end." And then somebody's like, "Oh, you like it Arabic style?" And I like olive oil. Anyways, long story, but got great food. Thank you. Hey, Matt. Assuming you understand what the 80-20 rule is, what would you say is the 80-20 rule in golf? What drills or practice will improve the most? Yes. So 80-20, what? 80-20, 20% of the people do 80% of the work? Is that what you're talking about? Or what should you practice, 80% versus 20%? Or score, 80% of your score is short game, 20% is long game? It's more like, it's not quite 80-20 in that respect, but kind of, yeah, I guess I get it. What drills do you practice to improve the most? Okay, so this is a good question, because I had a question somebody posted on my photo earlier that I posted about winter's coming. So those of you in the northern territories, Canada or cold places where it's cold and you can't go to a range and practice during the winter, you can improve your game during that time. So, and I'm going to show you what is, in my opinion, the most important thing to work on. If you have an area, a garage, inside somewhere, get a hitting mat. This is my mat I just got from Motivo. I did a review on it. Check it out. It's a pretty good mat. I like it. It doesn't leave green marks on the bottom of my club. So, love that. It's got some rough. It's pretty good. Does the job. Here's the drill I work on a lot. I live in Southern California, so I don't have to worry about, I can go to the range every day of the year. It's no big deal. But this is what I like to do. This is a 6-iron. I'll go 30 yards away, or just do it here. This is the drill. Chip shots, pitch shots with my long irons, with all my clubs. This is it. Right? I just fatted that one. If you can't hit a 6-iron, if you can't pitch a 6-iron 30, 40 yards really good, that's the drill to work on. That will help you improve your game the most. So here's what happens. And a lot of people don't talk about this. Golf primarily is not taught really well. Here's why. It's like you can swing the club. Like you could take a swing. It's essentially you're given the keys to a Ferrari. You just got your driver's license. It's not going to be good. And that's what we do in golf. I can swing. I'm going to swing at it. I'm going to go hit balls. But really, we don't master any level of the game. So there's no mastery going on. It's like when we're teaching our kids math, if you don't have the foundation down correctly, you're going to cap out at a certain level. Pre-algebra, algebra, whatever. You'll never get to calculus, trigonometry, whatever else is out there. Like I don't even know, but you'll stop. You won't be able to do high-level chemistry because your math skills, the foundation wasn't laid correctly. So the better you lay the foundation, the higher level you can go. Same applies in golf. there's no reason to have a poor grip. The reason you have a poor grip is because you got the keys to the Ferrari the day you got your driver's license and you went out hitting balls. You need to practice the grip. Grab that club. I mean, literally. And then if you have a bad grip and you live in a cold area, get inside, get on a mat, change your grip, and just practice chip shots using that grip. That's the best way to get better. So first and foremost, you know, if you have a really, now if you have a poor grip and you're shooting in the 70s, that's great. You're shooting scratch golf, then stick with it. But if you're in the 80s, 90s, 100, you're struggling, and you have a bad grip, wintertime is the time to do the changes. Fix that grip, get a perfect grip for your hand size, really work on that, and then you can do this, as uncomfortable as it may be, you can hit chip shots using a new grip. But you're not going to be able to go swing full out with the new grip and have any type of good result. It's going to take a while. So start chipping right in here. I'm changing my grip right now. I'll weaken it a ton. Really turn that, okay, there. Really weak grip. And practice chipping that way. You can control that new grip. So do your changes in the wintertime. Do it with these pitch shots with all your clubs, all your irons. You're going to have good results. If you do that, you're going to start getting mastery at this shorter zone, and that's going to, in the long term, produce a much more consistent, better, lower scores for you, and you will get better. But you have to master, you know, these fundamentals, which is really the short game. If you get that, sky's the limit. You can go as far as you know, your work will allow you. All right. So that was for you, Ken. Thank you for the towel under the armpit drill. You're welcome. How is the grass I lay down coming out? Horrible. Look at it. It's a mess. Well, my camera is a little bright. Let me fix this real quick. You see, it's getting bright out here. Sun's popping out. Had some cloud cover. It was nice. Now it's getting a little darker. Yeah, the grass I lay down is not good. I lay down seed, and unfortunately, it didn't grow very well. I might overhaul the whole deal, and start over. I don't know. It's not good. Okay, why? It's an interesting question. Okay, Josiah, why do I hit before the ball with the offset golf clubs, and then when I have no offset golf club, I hit it perfect? So this goes to your feel, your release point, your eye hand. So if you have, I don't have any real offset in your club, and that's this piece here. The club sometimes is set back, and the shaft is in front of the head a little bit. So what happens is if you have that offset, your release point, your body, your mind sees it as in conjunction with your shaft. Well, that's too dark over there. So if your shaft is ahead of the club, then yeah, you're going to start hitting in a different spot. And that's something that's going to affect. Anytime you change your club, it's going to affect your shots. So that happens to me all the time. I can't play when I have an offset. Man, I shank balls because then I hit with the heel of the shaft. So I wouldn't hit with them. Just keep doing. But it's just because you're changing your release point. Okay, I'm having trouble with the takeaway, having a flat head, a flat lead wrist at the top of my backswing. Any tips? I'm having trouble with the takeaway and okay. So you're having trouble with your takeaway. This is an epidemic in golf, the takeaway. Here's why. What happens is there's a few pieces that have to come together. You've got a shoulder turn here. You've got your hands going back. You've got your hands going up. And if there's any wrist rotation, you could be taking it back. And if you get that wrist rotation and an up, this is flying out. And then you got a cup in your wrist and that club is all over the place. So something I like to do to really hone in my takeaway is this. I'll get a alignment stick and just run it halfway down the shaft. And this is, if I rotate my wrist, this shaft, this alignment stick flies away from my body. If I don't lift my arms, it's touching my body here. I don't want either of those. I want that alignment stick to go in alignment with my foot line. That's where I want it. Okay? I don't want it touching my body, and I don't want it away from my body. I want it on my body here, and then right in here, I want it, if you've got another one, this will help you. So you've got one here on the ground. Put this by your feet, because we want to get that first part of the takeaway. If you can get the first few feet correct, you're going to be pretty good. So just about a little bit away from your feet, right in there. Take that and it should fairly well match. You don't want this coming out too far. And then when you're back here, the shaft should just be pointed down about a 45-degree angle. You don't want it straight up and down, and you don't want it totally flat. Right in between those two would be where you would want that. And if you rotate those wrists, then I'm up there. And I don't want that. So you don't want that. You want that right in there. And then the further you take it back, that shaft, it doesn't come out here. It just stays in this position. You're just turning your shoulders. It's difficult, but if you can get that, even this small piece, you'll start taking those hands out of the golf swing. And the more you can get the hands out, the better. You're going to always have some, but the more you can take out, the better you're going to be. There's going to be some hand, wrist cocking up here, which is fine. But like I said, the more you take out, the better you're going to be in the long run. And you'll be fine. I played with a couple guys this weekend. That video is coming out. It's 3 former club champions. Me, my buddy Craig, and this guy KC. And they're a bit older than I am. And I hit it a lot farther than they do. But they are very consistent. So you don't need distance. And you can take your wrists and arms out of the swing and have a great score. Australia, what's up? Hope you're well. I'm reading your question. Let's see what else we have. For the life of me, I can't take away the club without fanning it. Yeah. Okay. Top Bloke Golf Vlogs. All right. Fanning. He can't take the club away without fanning it, which I would imagine is rotating that toe open. I would call that fanning it. Right? That's your move. That's your move. So really exaggerate. That just may be who you are, right? Everybody's got a little bit different swing. That might be you. But practice some other stuff just to make sure you're not doing it too much, right? So you go here. I want you to feel like you're like here. Like that's going to be your feeling. You're shutting that club so much that you're rotating that left hand underneath, like you're trying to turn it around this way. And that's going to be your feeling. And video yourself. I would imagine it's going to be, you might still be fanning it a little bit, but a lot less. But the feeling you're going to have is going to be a ridiculously unorthodox, uncomfortable feeling. And then just feel like you're really shutting that down here, you know. And check yourself on camera and see what that looks like. That's what I try to do in my videos, is help you do something so beyond reasonable that it actually helps you get better, because you start feeling things that you need to feel in your golf swing. Like that one felt ridiculous to me, but I just, I'm watching it and it looks pretty good. So it doesn't matter what it feels like. It matters what it looks like and the results that you're going to get out of it later on. All right, need a drill for center club face on driver. Center club face on driver. Okay, there's a couple things I like to do for that. How are you going to hit it in the center of the club face with your driver? How do I make sure that I'm making perfectly good solid contact? One thing I always say is just start off here. Can you hit it on the center of the club face like that? I talk about that a lot, because we really want to find out where your issue is. Is it here? Like, do you whip it inside too much? Because if that's your swing, this little chip shot with your driver, then we're going to know, like, oh, it happens right there at the beginning, which I would imagine it does. So here's what I would work on if you're having trouble center contact with your driver. I want you to do this little drill. Get a towel. I do a towel drill. Use a noodle if you want. This is a noodle. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna try to figure out if you gotta first find out, is it your takeaway? Because if you bring it too far inside and you come back, you're gonna heel it. Or if you bring it too far outside, you might toe it. So we want to figure out what you're doing. There's different ways you can do this depending on your level of bravery. You can lay this down like that, which is pretty safe. Sometimes people stick it behind them in the ground like this. I'm not going to do that. And then you would work on your plane coming into the ball, which is something you could do also. But we'll just do it like this for now. I would imagine your takeaway, let's just assume you're taking it way inside. So I'm going to put this down like this and make sure I don't take it inside. So I don't want to hit that. And that's my takeaway, is out here. It's because I want to work on different takeaways to find out if one produces a more center club face hit. So I would take it more outside. And that was pretty solid. So I like that. But if there's no center contact there, then I would go the other way. Well, let me whip that inside, okay? And try that. The contact wasn't as good for me. So you want to find that out. And also, I'll grab this real quick. What you could do, good little thing for you, to really test yourself is like, okay, I'm going to put my ball on that tee. I'm going to put a mark on it, right? Just get a Sharpie, put a little mark on it. Or this is orange or whatever. And I kind of want the mark in the same spot, and I'm going to tee it up in the same spot every time. Just put it right there on the back of the ball. So let me check as I take it more outside. Let me see what kind of ball contact I get out there. All right. And then you could look, and there'll be a little mark, and I hit it way down on the heel. And then do the same thing for the draw. Some people use like a talcum powder or a foot spray, they just spray it on the ball. That works great too. Or they spray it on their club face. Actually, you spray it on your club face, and then the ball will leave a mark where you hit it. That's a great way to do it as well. And you just want to find out. It's most likely, I would imagine, your takeaway that's messing you up. All right, so work on that. I think it'll help you out. Hi, Matt. Is your full swing an extension of your short swing from the UK? All right. So here's, short answer is yes. Watch. So here's my driver. Like everything stems from, so this from here to here is the same with everything. I'm really feeling everything connected, as little wrist as possible. I'm trying to kind of drop that to the inside and rotate through. So that's kind of my thought process with my full swing. And then you get me like in a shorter swing with the wedge. And yeah, it's exactly the same. I'm not changing anything. I'm a one swing guy. Like everything's connected. I'm not all of a sudden cocking my wrist. It's just a slow one-piece takeaway and rotations. So, yeah, it is. It's an extension. And that's why I'm a big believer in mastery of these smaller shots. Because if you can get mastery down here with this, that motion, these positions in this swing, right in here, that is going to be consistent through every club in your bag. Even your putter. You're putting like this, right? And if all you did is work on that, by hitting shots, you're going to be good all around. This is that critical zone right in here. 4 feet, the width of my mat. If you can make perfect ball contact in that zone all the time, you're going to have a great game. You don't have to worry about it too much else. Your short game is going to be solid. Even your full swing, once you get in here, you're going to be so used to, and you have so much practice in this zone that area is going to be fine. You're going to learn how to rotate. That's the thing. People have a lot of problems, full swing, rotating. They get stuck back here. If you could do it in the short game and really rotate, which is easier to do, and practice in the short game, then when you get in that full swing, it's just going to be second nature. You're not going to have to worry about it. Okay, Vincent Lee. I love this question. All right, you're hitting fat shots, super deep divots. Okay, you're coming in too steep, obviously. You even know that. How do we get flat? So do this drill. Just set up, take whatever club, your wedge or whatever, you can take it back, and then you're just going to set it on your leg, your thigh, right here. You take it back here, set it on your thigh, and slightly rotate right in here. And this is how I want you to feel like you're coming into that ball. All right, so you're going to take your swing, you're going to slowly come down and set it here. So this is more like your setup position right here. All right, and then just, hit a few shots in there. That's your practice. So you're going to take it, you're going to set up, get your wedge or whatever club, take it back, and you rotate here, and those hands are touching your leg, and then you're just into the ball. It's going to help you start feeling that shallow delivery. And then when you swing, I don't want you to pull your hands down, because pulling your hands down is going to get you steep. I want you to focus on just letting those hands stay behind you and try to touch that leg. It's not, I don't think you will, but try. And that should help work on you on that steepness into the ball. And then also, again, come back to your stick drill, put your stick in here and practice this. Like, you're not going to come steep. You come steep, you're going to whack yourself in the side with the stick. So you don't want the stick to hit you. This is a secondary drill. It's very similar. You don't want that stick to ever hit you. If the stick is whacking you, then you're coming down in it. So, but that first drill is where I would stick with first. Okay? Just take it back, slightly rotate, let those hands hit your thigh, and then just hit a couple shots. Follow through. Then focus on how that, then just remember how the feeling of that follow through. And then as you're hitting full shots, I want you to try to get the same follow through feeling. Take it back. Because that's what you're going to remember, is the follow through. That's the thing. When you're working on your swing, what do you feel? What do you remember? I want you to remember what the follow through is feeling like. And that's where you want to stick. That's where you want to get to. So with this drill, my hands are here and I'm coming in from in here. Look at my hands. My hands are way down here. And I'm feeling that arm across my chest. I'm turned. So now when I hit the full shot, I want to feel that same follow through feeling. That's what I'm focusing on. That felt good. So I felt like the full swing follow through feeling matched the drill follow through feeling. I'm not really focused back in here like doing all this. That's just getting me more to the finish. And then that's what you want to focus on, is that finish feeling. That's a lot easier to try to get to a finish than while I'm here, now I'm trying to get in here. That'll all take place if I'm focused on the final product. And so that's really the key for me. Is shooting 105 for the first time playing good golf? Sure. Yeah, I mean, first time, 105, that's great. It's hard to say, you know, what's good golf? What's good golf for you? What's good golf? It could be great golf. It could be horrible. But I would imagine, you know, your first time ever shooting 105, that's good stuff. Keep up the work. Work on your short game, chipping and putting, and that'll go down quick. All right, where are we at? I think I've seen you ever choke down a... I don't think I ever see you choke down on a wedge. What you're thinking on choking down on a wedge? Oh, hey, Canada. All right, Frank. I'm trying to think. Do I choke down on a wedge? You know what? It's funny. I probably don't, now that you mention it. Here's why. I do sometimes when it's into the wind or I've got wind issues. But what I do is I usually take, this is my 46, this is my pitching wedge. I can hit this full out like 130. But when I have like 120, I hit my wedge. But I'll take a normal grip and I'll just smooth 3/4. So that's what I do. Instead of choking down, I don't know, something I'm used to. I'll just 3/4 it. My clubs are a 1/2 inch short too, so maybe that's why they feel a little too short if I choke down on them. That could be the reason too. That's probably more the reason. It's a short answer. Okay. My clubs are a 1/2 inch short too, so maybe that's why they feel a little too short if I choke down. All right, Jason, take a look at last week's live. Okay. I need a drill to prevent sculling or fatting watching 25 yards of the green. Okay. Sculling or fatting. So 25 yards of the green. That's where typically when you do that, you're losing your spine angle up through that ball. okay? And it could be for a couple things. One is you're not rotating, okay, and you're staying in here, and you're just flipping those hands, okay? If you don't rotate when you're in here, you have to flip those hands. So you're in here, you take this, and you're trying to stay down on it so much that you stop your body. So you have to actually come up a little bit to let that club pass. So that would be the skull. If you stay down, you're going to release and hit it fat. All right? So the key here is rotation. We've got to rotate. So you could aim your feet a little left if you want. Turn your shoulders open. You want to be a little more open to the target. Like this. Like my shoulders are turned. And then come in here. This is a good way to, this kind of Lee Trevino mode. Okay? And then now that I'm here, I'm already halfway open. Okay? So I'm opening my shoulders. I get that club down. I open my shoulders up. I'm 25 yards from the green. I bend down. And now I grab the club. So I'm wide open. I would never set up like this on a regular shot. But what we're doing is we've got to let that club release out here. This is the release. The release is not, this is not the release. You're doomed. So you got to open it up so you can release out here. Turn those hips more in your setup. And release out there. So you're probably just getting bunched up, constricting yourself. So release, open up a lot more and practice that. Hello, South Africa. One of my best friends is from South Africa. Okay, canoe. Oh, and I'll get to you as well. Okay, I struggle with playing on soggy lies. Okay, yes, tips. So soggy lies usually are bad with wedges. You know, as conditions get a little bit soggier, we're going to get the fall is here. We're getting a little more moisture. So how do we handle that? Here's what I want you to do. Whatever club you're hitting off the fairway, I want you to open the face a little bit. Okay? What you're doing is you got to take that leading edge out of the turf. So just if you open it up just a little bit, then you're adding some bounce to that club. And that will help you, especially with your irons that don't typically have a lot of bounce on them. Just open it up a little bit. You might have to take a little extra club, but just open it up, and that will allow the sole of the club to glide through that soggy condition a little better without digging in. That leading edge can dig in. So open that face up a little bit and then do it. Try it. That's something I do whenever I have a soggy lie. If I'm using my 60, I open it, or I use a different club. I use a 54, and I open that face to help me just get it through that. Okay, how can I hit? I hit my gap wedge too low. Can you help me? Okay, Aaron, your gap wedge too low. Check your bounce. See what that is. And what's too low? Is it just incredibly lower than the rest of your clubs, the rest of your wedges? If that's the case, check your bounce. Maybe you have a dramatically different bounce on that club versus the others. That could be a difference. Is it a different model, different make? Just get the loft and lie and the loft and bounce checked. Mine is an 8 degree. My gap is an 8 degree bounce. And so I have different bounces for each wedge, and it helps me. So if I want something lower, I go with more bounce. If I want something higher, I go with less bounce. And then, you know, you can kind of manipulate things that way. But that's what I would do. I would check that, because if that's the only difference between your gap and your other stuff, it could very well be just a club setup issue. All right. You ever come to the UK? I sure hope so. Hopefully get out there and play. I don't know this year, but Where do I get the range basket from? The range? The range? Whatever. They had a lot. I think I borrowed them from a range. Is that what happened? Somebody gave me one of them. And then the other one, I think actually a range was, not a range, a golf course had them. They were getting rid of stuff, and I think I got it. All right, I'm trying to get to everybody's questions. Sorry if I missed some of them. I'm just scrolling down, and then, you know, sometimes things pop up and I scroll past it on accident, so I don't mean to miss your question. I might not be able to get to everybody, but I try to get to as many as I can. And if I don't understand the question for some reason, I'll just skip it. Sorry about that. We'll try. Where do you place the ball in pitching? Good question. So, okay, here's my setup. Pretty much everything is center of my stance. Okay, even pitching. I'll just narrow my stance a little bit. And I like it in the center, especially pitching the ball, just right in the middle. You could back it up. Sometimes I do when it's, you know, if my lie dictates that I have a weird lie, I have a clunky lie, like in this grass, whatever, if it's like down here, then I would back it up off my back toe. You know, I don't know if you can see that, but that's what I do. And even I hit that a little heavy. So my lie will dictate how far back I put it. But if I just have a regular fairway lie, I put it in the center, maybe just a half a ball back. But I really feel like that's center to me. And then I pitch it from there. And that should, but everybody's a little different. You know, your release point is going to be different than mine. So you might want, you know, you look at Bubba Watson, man, that guy, some shots, he's got that thing way back here. So he's playing all kinds of interesting shots. But it's just, it's a matter of personal preference. But for me, I like right in the middle. Thanks, Top Blow Golf. Well, a drill to finally stop hitting. Oh, wait, hold on. I'll come back to that one. Favorite course you played on and toughest? Favorite course is LA Country Club. That spectacular, amazing place. You're not allowed to take photos there or do anything. I got in trouble by doing that. But that's my favorite. Toughest course. That's a good question. I played a place in Hawaii called Ko'olau. I think that's the name. If you miss a fairway, you're like in the jungle. That was probably the toughest course I've ever played. And I think it had one of the highest ratings in America. Okay, a drill to finally stop hitting the ball fat and lack of distance. Fort Lauderdale. All right, what's up? All right, a lot of people having problems hitting it fat. I played Saturday, I hit a bunch of balls fat. It happens. All right. You've seen this drill. All right, look. You've got to be moved. I don't like to say move forward because I just think that is a misnomer in golf, is moving forward. I think you got to rotate around. Your weight goes, it does move forward a little bit, but your weight transfers to your front foot. But so without saying move forward, I want you to do this drill. You know, like you're going to step forward a little bit. So you can take a shot and step through. You've got to make sure you're coming through. That's something you see a lot. Another thing is I do this, what I call the forward drill. So on your backswing, okay, if you're constantly having fat shot issues, then try this. A lot of it could be you're swaying off the ball. So if you come back off the ball this way and you don't come back that way, you're going to hit behind the ball every time. So on your backswing, this is practice, all right? And then video yourself and see what it looks like. If it looks wrong, then stop doing it. But you want to feel like you're moving forward on your backswing and then forward on your forward swing. So it's just a forward drill. I'm not feeling as if I'm transferring my weight to my back foot, okay? I'm rotating, but I feel like I'm on my front foot still. It's just a drill, forward. Okay, it's similar to like a stack and tilt kind of move. I'm not a fan of that, but if you're constantly hitting it fat, you're probably swaying off the ball. So the feeling that you're staying on your front foot could help you. It probably will help you. But saying that technically is incorrect. Like a lot of, golf instructors would say, no, you don't ever want to feel that. That's why I have a problem with golf instruction, because they tell you all the perfect things, but it doesn't translate into what you're feeling. So I try to help you feel something to get you to the destination you want to go to. So you're probably coming off the ball, feel like you're staying on your front foot a lot. So I call it forward. Try it. Let me know. All right. Where do we go? I lost my spot. How do you judge performance between two different putters? Yeah, when you're having putting issues, I would switch putters. Performance, for me, it's different putters, and I'll do a live show. I'll do more putting videos as well, but it's feel, it's stroke, and can I hit the center of the putter every time with this putter versus that putter? And for me, that's the main thing. How does it roll the ball? And do I have good feel in my lag putts with different putters? And then when I'm putting 3 or 4 footers, just the alignment of the putter, does it match with how I see the putt? And so with my putters, that's kind of how I judge between one or the other. I've been using my XO 7 model lately, which it's taken me a little while to get used to it because I don't normally use a mallet. I haven't ever. But I started using this, and boy, man, I'm really liking it. I can strike it in the center, it rolls true, and I set up pretty good with it, so I'm liking it. It's a little different feel, a little different takeaway than I'm used to, but I think for me, it's helping me out a lot. Okay, how do you perform a flop shot? Okay, I have videos, John, on the flop shot. I can't do them really here too much because they'll go over the fence, and normally I wouldn't care, but the guys are building a house back there currently, so I don't hit them. But the flop, there's a few different flop shots. There's one where you just take that Phil Mickelson full swing and do that, and there's different ways to do that. You can actually hit a few inches behind the ball. There's also this kind of flop shot where you just do that short little guy, which that's the one I like because I just open the face a ton and I open my feet a bit to the left and I aim the face wide open and go, and then I just take it out here. I don't even really cock my wrist. I just take it out here and no wrist and go through the ball like that and get a nice little soft spinner. For most of my flop shots, that's it. Open the face, ball center my stance. I'm taking it way out here, kind of on my line where I'm aiming. But I really feel like I just out there, and I'm using no wrist really. Right there. See that? So I'm using no wrist. I'm just going out here and across. And I'm not rotating the club. I'm just keeping it wide open the whole time out here. Look at that, just stop, just stopped right there. So those are cool shots, and you can pull those off just about anywhere around the greens, right? You could just go right here, and bam, that's the shot. Uh-oh. My garner, or my pool guy's here, and my dog's out. One of them's safe. So give that a try. My handicap's like a 1 point something, 2 point something. I think it's 2.3 at the moment. Hey, June. Good, I'm working. You want to be on TV? Here comes June. Yeah. No, Bella. 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 My dog is tagging. Hey. He usually comes on Monday. It's okay. Bella, come here. Yeah, we're online right now. Here. This is June.
Hi.
Here, come here. You golf?
Not good.
Hey, shh, not good? Get back.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
You want me to hit it?
Hit it. Back up. Ranger, come here. Hold on. Get him out of here. Get out of here.
6.
Hold on. He's back. Go here. Ranger, move.
Be careful.
Okay, come over here. All right, guys, this is June, my pool guy. Impromptu lesson. See what he got. Oh, you're a stud. That was good. You killed it. Let's do another one.
I'll never just hit it.
Hey, he's pretty good. Oh, you're a natural.
Natural?
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah,
you're good. Look at this guy. How you been?
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I do a live show.
Okay.
Every week.
I want to see you hit it.
Oh, yeah. All right. June. He's my dog. Hey. Bella. My pool guy is a secret golfer. You got a secret hidden talent. Hey, Bella. My dog barks at him all day long. Look at my boy. June, you were a pro skier, right? You were a skier, huh?
Yeah.
See, he's an athlete. June was a professional skier. One of my dogs loves him. The other one wants to eat him. All right, we're going to sign off. Let's see if I can get to one more question. Oh, that's funny. Okay, here we go. We're going to turn this down. Good stuff, June. My dog's still running. Okay, last question. Yeah, just. All right, you guys have some great questions. Yeah. Okay. I'm just looking here. All right, my dog's going crazy on my pool guy, so I got to get him out of here. Bella, no. Bella, come here. Hey, dog. Okay. Why do I look like Mr. Short Game on the range? And then when I go to the course, I look like I never played before. You know that happens. Here's why. Is because when you're on the range, there's no real definition. Usually, you're just hitting kind of into wide open areas. So when you get to a course, there's trees, you're more constricted. That's why I always recommend hitting into like a net like this, because I am everything's honed in, it's tightened in. So what you do is you practice hitting your driver in this small space, and that will help you. So that's why going to range could really hurt you when you hit the course, because you're hitting into that giant area. But if you're always hitting into a small spot right there, then when you get to the course, you're more focused and more narrowed in on that. So I hope that helps. We had a question about college from Gabriel. Any tips I should train? Yeah, work hard in game, play in a lot of tournaments, get your tournament results to college coaches, and they'll start checking you out and recruiting you. And I would go to a college where you get to play. Okay, when you go to a place, I don't care what division school it is, doesn't matter. Division 2, 3, 4, it doesn't matter. But go where you can actually play consistently. All right, because you don't want to ride the bench. Anyways, good stuff. Thanks for stopping by. See you. You want to hit another one, June? Yeah. June's coming back. All right. June's going to finish off the show hitting a shot. Look at this guy. Guy's an animal. Nice. Keep going. Keep going. June's killing it. We'll get June back here. Here we go. Look at this swing. Oh, bad one. You can't end like that.
It's a little higher this position.
Pretty good.
I think I hit the ground.
Hit the ground first? Do you play at all?
No.
You don't play?
Just 2 times.
Twice?
Yeah.
You play twice? Good one.
I like this one. Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Thank you, man.
All right. That's June. Hey, if you need a good pool guy, there's a guy. DM me. I'll give you his info if you're in LA. All right, we're out. Thanks for stopping by.